Hey y'all, thank you for, I'm tilting you a little bit. Thank you for being here. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. We're going to put on, of course, the City Beauty Plump and Lip Oil. In my mind, I have a look planned out. This, I believe, will be number 19. I think I got oil on my lips. With the Natasha Denona Xenon palette. And this is what it looks like. So as I said, in my mind, I have an idea. We're going to see how it plays out. So far for face, I did just really basic, the same concealer, primer, foundation, and we use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette volume 2, and we did use all 3 of these. Golden Bronze Light for our bronzer, Radiant Light for blush, and just lightly up here and down here, and then Soft Light under eyes, and then all over the face. And then we sprayed the face with, of course, the Scandinavia makeup finishing spray, bridal formula. And I think I have everything I need in front of me for the look. I have outer lip to do. I pulled out the Sephora cream lip stain number 97 Red Desert because I did toss High Drama from MAC because it was smelling different than it used to smell. So I'm just like, after my no buy, I am almost sure that I will repurchase it. But I had put that on, which is deeper than this. That was described as a deep matte plum. And then I lined my lips with this black. This is from MAC. This is their lip liner in Caviar. I really like this. And I liked how it looked. And so we're going to do that with this. Hopefully it kind of look the same, but this is a different color. So same effect, but it's not going to look the same. I have out brushes. I have out more eyeliners. We're going to do an ombre thing with the brows. I have Inner Realms NYX Vivid Rich. And I should know this. This shade is Smoke and Topaz and Lower Lash Line. And then we took their Vivid Rich, no it's not, this is just their retractable eyeliner. So this is a different formula than the Vivid Rich ones. This is the older ones. And this one is silver. And so I put silver here, 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 and here. So it's only the brown left in the middle. So girl, why did you take the brown all over? Hey, you know how we do here. We do things and then undo things. And so I'm thinking I may do the brows like that, but we'll see what the eyeshadow look is looking like. So I'm going to prime the eye again. This is what the palette looks like. I am excited about it. I am. I have, yeah, I'm not even sure what we're going to put in the brows, but I did take out, all 3 of these are from MAC. Incorruptible and Perpetual Shock and Stay the Night. And so we may use these to do a gradient for the brows. Oh, my thick thighs caught it. Or we'll just use MAC's Midnight Snack Fluid Line on the first half of our brows and put Black Mirror on over here where ain't no hair. So we may do that, but I don't know. It would be easier to use these though as far as removal, but it's not that big of a deal. And so prime the eye, do the, why does it look like it's something? Y'all see this? Like, what is that? What? Something scratched my face. This is the brush that had concealer and powder on it. I don't think anything hit my face. I just saw it just now. I be seeing things. All right, so let's prime the eye, do the intro. We're going to use the same brush, and I've been doing that lately. Whatever I use, because I used to use 2 different brushes, one for concealer and powder for under ear, and another brush for primer. But lately, I'm just like, girl, just. So, hello again and welcome. This is going to be different doing my eyes first, because when I do my brows, it lets me know like where to stop. But I do know where the bone is, though. Hello again and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. Why do I call it that? The crazy part is knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. Be yourself. It is very freeing. Trust me on that one. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You'll hear you must use this brand, you must use this tool, you have to have this exact palette. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to. Use whatever you want to use, however you want to use, to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Here, we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, never because we feel like we have to. Listen, love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. And so that's our motto. That's what we roll by over here at the Crazy Troll Nation. And okay, let me just keep going. So there's two things about me. I curse sometimes because I curse sometimes. And there's an organism in my throat named Bruce who likes to randomly hiccup, gargle, and belch in videos and in particularly live streams. I try to be aware of him to say, excuse me. But sometimes I'm not aware. It depends on like where my mind is at, if I'm really like that into what I'm doing. So if you hear something and I don't say excuse me or excuse Bruce, I was not aware of it at that time. And so thank you for excusing us ahead of time in case it happens. And I did just finish my 80 ounces of water for today. My iron flask is 40 ounces and I love it because drinking 2 of those, I know I've had my 80 ounces. And if around this time, it's like 10 minutes to midnight. I'm nocturnal. If it's around this time and I'm like, okay, I just finished the first one, I'm like, okay, I really need to just go ahead and guzzle down the next 40. But I did drink the 80 already. Today was a day. What happened today? My neighbor and I had asked her to go to Petrucci's with me because I had a coupon. It's an Italian restaurant. Y'all, they must be hurting for business. And a lot of companies are, a lot of restaurants are, because within like a month, I received like 3 different coupons from them. 2 came together, and then actually 2. And then 2 other ones came by email. It is something in this eye. One was, $10 off a pizza. And that's the one I kept forgetting about. And one was you spend $20, you get $10 off. I was just like, because the other one was spend $40, you get $20 off. And that expired the 28th of this month. And so I sent her a picture of the front and back and was like, yeah, we going to dinner. So, we picked the date. Excuse me, and we went today. Y'all, the food portions are friggin' insane. It's enough food. The plate of food is enough for 3 hungry adults. I lie to you not. And I love my pasta. I love my carbs. She ordered a dish. I ordered the dish. We ordered the sampler. And, of course, it came with bread and the oil with seasons in it. And also, we ordered dessert. Y'all, and you get a salad with the meal, right? So our salad and the appetizer was really what we ate. And we both brought home like 2 separate to-go containers with the food in it because it was too much to pack in one. But we did taste the food, though. And we were like, yeah, that's going to be for later. I said, it'll be like 2 in the morning. I'll be eating lunch because that was my first meal of the day. And they had a thing where, I have not, this is my refreshed one, so a lot of these I have not touched. We have not touched, I don't want to take that one. This one looks darker. We're going to take this one first, and this one is Sposh. And so they had a thing where if you leave a review, you can get 2 cannolis for free, and they were the mini ones. And I'm like, yeah, give me that. And she ordered, what did she order? Oh, it was some kind of cake, and it is lemony. And so, y'all, and they make sure you leave your review. She was like, okay, scan this bar right here. So she's like standing like right next to me. Okay, now push it. Like, they make sure you leave your review. And I'm like, and I understand that because some people would be like, oh, y'all leave a review and don't. And they just say that. Y'all leave a review for the 2 little free mini cannolis. And so I understood it, but I was just like... And then she flipped something over and was like, and here's my name right here. So I did leave a detailed review and I did put her name on it. She was very good. She was very good. And when she came back, she's like, did you put my name on it? I said, look, it's right here. So I showed her my phone. I was like, yeah, your name is right here. She was like, oh, thank you so much. She was really good, though. She was a really good weight person. Like, for real. And so... And I had to think about it if I like cannolis. I don't know if I've ever had one, and if I did, I didn't remember it. And so I was just tasting the filling part, because I just was like, okay, do I like this or do I not like it? And so I told my neighbor, I said, I don't dislike it. I'm just trying to figure out if I like it. So I was just taking a little bit of the frosting or the filling, whatever it is, just a tiny bit of just that, because it also had little miniature chocolate chips on it. And I said, and so I would just put a little bit of the cream in my mouth and just kind of just roll it around and trying to get a feel for it. It's creamy, but it has texture. And there were a few times where it felt like I needed to chew it, even though it's like a cream type. It was, if you've had cannolis, you know what I mean. It's a different type of texture. And so I said, it's not nasty. I don't dislike it. I'm just trying to figure out if I like it. Because not liking something and liking it can be two different things. Because I can like something and be like, yeah, you know, once in a blue moon I'll eat it. But it's not like, oh my gosh, I need to have that chocolate cake. I always like chocolate cake unless it's dry. And so she let me taste her lemon cake. And when the wait person came back, I said, can I have one of those to go? It was so good. It was a tiny piece though, so I felt some kind of way about that. Like, you give us all these big portions of everything else, and that little tiny piece of cake. And so watching, I think it was right before Janessa went live tonight. Today is Wednesday. I did eat the 2 cannolis, and I did cut them up. I didn't just pick it up and eat it, because each end has the cream on the outside and then the chocolate chips, and then the inside is just the cream. And I did not know if I was going to really like that. And so I used a spoon and just like cut it and ate it in pieces, and then mixed the chocolate chips with whatever piece I was eating. And it was good. It was good. It was good. But I am going to eat some leftovers after this because I'm hungry. So I had got the rigatoni abruzzi, and I still have a chicken wing and a meatball and a half left from the sampler. Y'all, the salad in that sampler, that was, we were both like, okay, we just gonna take the main dish home, because, you know, it was a lot of food. And for the price too, I'm just like, damn. And I said that could work against them, because knowing what we know now, but then it may depend on who's cooking that day, you know what I mean? Because knowing that 3 people could have ate off of my main dish, I can go there with like 4 people and we each order a dish. Well, no, 2 of us order a dish and the other 2, we just share it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it could work against them, because everybody don't need to order a main dish. If you want the same thing, just share it. You know? But yeah, it was a lot of food. It was a lot of food. And so I did that. Went to Wawa, got a few dollars of gas, got a Mountain Dew, because y'all that know I'm nocturnal, I think this morning I went to bed maybe around like 9 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, my first cousin's going to be here with cheerleader daughter, 9 o'clock, for me to take them to the airport. And I'm just like, I hope she really understands and remembers that I am nocturnal, because that's a sacrifice of love right there. And and I have an appointment at the VA hospital tomorrow. So I'm like, can we say no sleep deprivation and Mountain Dew? It's going to be a long day. And so my live tomorrow, I rescheduled it to Friday. And I did mention in Tuesday's live that I was probably going to move it, because at first I thought, I'll just push it through after your doctor's appointment, come home, take a nap. But then I'm like, girl, one of your goals this year was to take better care of yourself and to stop pushing yourself so hard. And so, yes, I switched that to Friday. So that way when I come home, have my leftovers and just crash out. Just go to sleep or something. I'm liking this shape, and so I'm trying to do the same thing over here. We are going to bring this up further, because I realized when I do halo looks, keeping this here, this is, for me, for my eye shape, for me, is too bright, having a bright shade all the way through here. And I do like just a sliver of lightness here, which means I need to bring this further over. But however, we are going to use another color. So let's, I still do want to just put a little bit more splash. And then we're going to put another one of these blue-based black shades. So, yeah, tomorrow, y'all, oh my gosh, Because sometimes I'm not even in bed by 9 a.m. And then I gotta drive like 40 to 50 minutes there and then back home. So yeah, I'm gonna need that Mountain Dew to keep myself and other drivers safe on the highway. And I timed it where I can come home and have maybe like 90 minutes or so. And somebody said, you should have timed it to go straight to your appointment. I'm like, no, because sometimes I do get to a point where I know I'm not safe to drive. And that's happened to me a couple times. And I was afraid for my life and other drivers because I realized that I was like zoning out. And they do call it road hypnosis. And it wasn't really that. I was just so exhausted. I was just like zoning out, and I caught myself zoning out. And so I know that feeling. So I'm like, you know what? I need to just come home and just sit for a little bit, or just go ahead and go to the hospital and just sit in my car in the parking lot. One of my previous doctors told me that for the early morning appointments, like sometimes vets like me who are nocturnal, she said they'll just go, like if their appointment's 8:30, she said they might just go there at like 5 in the morning and just sit and sleep in their car because they want to make sure they don't miss their appointment. I said, I ain't doing all that. But being nocturnal is a different way of life. And, you know, the hospital appointments is not going to change to my schedule, which I understand. But I just need to be prepared. And I've learned not to do lives on days that I have appointments. Because sometimes that would happen on a Monday, and then I would end up switching the live stream to another day. And then I'm like, you know what? You need to just not schedule lives on days you have appointments, because I'd be wiped out. Anytime I have to set my alarm, it's going to be a long day. We're going to take this blue over here, Ebb, and we're going to put that inside of here. And so that's something I realized, because I used to just push through it. And there's been live streams where I'm like, oh my God, I have a low-grade migraine triggered by sleep deprivation or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, girl, you're not taking care of yourself. And so the end of last year, I said, I'm making a lifestyle change. Like, I need to and will start pacing myself and not pushing myself too hard. Because it is not taking good care of myself to do a live stream or even a video in front of all these lights with a budding migraine, because the lights just make it worse. And then I'll be like, oh, I'll just rest afterward, but by then it might be too late, because then it might be fully blown, the migraine, and then I'm just like, I did it to myself. And so I just enjoy being here. I like hanging out with y'all. Y'all know I love playing the makeup, but it's like, it is just makeup. Like, my health is more important. And I don't like to switch things when I schedule them. And so that's on me to be like, okay, you have an appointment this day. And I always know at least months and months and months ahead of time. So just don't schedule to do a live. Maybe do a video, because I wasn't sure I was going to get this one done. And I'm like, you know what? I was watching Janessa's live, and near the end of it, I'm like, you know what? Let me sit here and do my base face while I'm watching her. And then when she was done, I finished my base face, and here we are. And so I did have a bit of energy, and I'm a little bit hungry. So it worked out, but I wasn't going to push it. Like, if I was really just like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted, I would not be here right now. The shapes are different. This is more straight as usual. The other side is more rounded. What do I need to bring where? I need to bring this in a little bit more. Do I want to take another shade? I do. I'm looking in here and I do. I like this. So for people who say they don't get a lot of looks out of this palette, or they get two, this is my 19th look with this, or using it, I should say, because sometimes it was just pulling 1 or 2 colors. But when I first got it, I did 5 looks before I switched, like I swapped in and out some shades. And so when people are like, I only get, 2 looks out of here, you got to switch up what you do if you want something different. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. And that's why I was excited when this first came out, because it challenged me to do something new, do graphic looks, do different color combinations and stuff like that. So we're going to take Grew, this shade up here. And so and that's what happened. And I was like, this is a nice palette. You just got to do something different. And so if you have this palette and you don't know what to do with it, I do have a playlist for this palette. So if you have it and you don't know what to do with it, check out my playlist and you know, recreate one of the looks like with your own spin on it, just to get more use out of it and to challenge yourself to do something different than what you normally do for your looks. That is pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking I had to have done a halo look with this palette. I'm sure I did. Yeah, so this is my 19th time using this, and it is a repurchase, as I said. So this is a fresh one. And I think I used this one 3 times so far. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing a video that someone had suggested. And I'm like, that's a good idea. Excuse you, Bruce. Excuse me, y'all. And I'm wondering if I should do that like as a live stream. Y'all, I love doing live streams too. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I'm glad you're here. I do live streams usually Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, unless like something like tomorrow comes up and then I move it to Friday. But yeah, at least 3 times a week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do a live stream. We're going to take another one of those brushes because we're going to take... Oh, okay, it fell right here on top of my surge protector. Now we're going to... So we've used first shade, second shade, third shade, and I'm thinking of taking... We could have even did this one, but I do think that would have blended in more with this one and that one. I'm thinking to take this shade, and if it doesn't give me the pop I want, put this on top of it. And I think that's the sparkling foil, or I don't know, but this is super ionic, this shade. We want to take that one, perfect brush for this, right down the middle, right down the middle. I'm looking at the shapes. This, are you picking up? Yeah, it is. Oh, okay, yeah, I think this is gonna, yeah. And what I could have did, I could have put this in that area too, and then topped it with this, or topped it with that. This gives a lot of options. They're like, girl, it's only 3 options that you just gave us. I know. And then we're just going to feather lightly to blend both sides of where we put that color. That is pretty. Gosh. And I see a few flakes of fallout. Actually, yeah, from the light shade over here, I see a few from the dark shade. Hooded eyelids, like you see this, like it's like, girl, so I gotta come down here and put it here and then make sure I'm getting it in the crease. Hooded eyelids, yeah, so I gotta make sure it's in there. And then we are overlapping that third shade that we put on, so we can have that blend. This is nice. I like it. Will you just brush away? Some of it's like yeah, some of it's like no. The darker shadow, those just came right off. The lighter shadow is not. And I can see like the individual pieces. I never have a ton of fallout, like never. And it may be the brushes I use or the techniques. I am a packer. You notice I haven't picked up a blending brush yet. This side has a little bit more fallout. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take this again. And we're gonna put Radiant Light under the eyes. And a lot of times I do take an Hourglass finishing powder to, oh shit, I didn't mean to do, I'm so sorry. It was something on the screen, I was trying to wipe it off. It will camouflage the fallout because the Hourglass shades, the finishing powders in particular, they will camouflage the fallout because the fallout is sparkly and it gives a sheen, it just counterbalances. We're going to first do Soft Light, even though I know we said Radiant Light, which is that the middle shade. I have to be careful with Radiant Light. I learned it the hard way. It was in the summer years and years ago. And because you don't really see it, right? And this is Soft Light, not Radiant Light. And I went outside. I was going somewhere. And I looked in, and I pulled down a visor and looked. I looked like a fairy, shit on my face. I'm like, Radiant Light ain't no joke. But sitting here, like I didn't notice it. And so you know, it blends into the highlighter. Do I still want to take Radiant Light? Yeah, let's take a little bit of Radiant Light. So I'm just using the tip of the brush on Radiant Light, and we're just going to put that under here, even though we do have this on as a blush. So we're turning and swiping. Yeah, that did the trick. And I don't put these on my nose because I know I got a big nose, and I love my nose. I just don't want to highlight it because then it accentuates it and then it looks bigger. I'm cool with it like this. Just what we're doing. We're going to take, I usually don't bridge my halo looks because for me and my eye shape, and because of all this puffiness, I don't like how that looks on me. So what I think I'm gonna do is this Esom brush that I use quite a bit for this purpose. Just doing small circular motions or just going back and forth just to blend this line out. And so this is what I usually do, and I love this brush for it because as you see, it's direct, it's soft, yet it is firm, because you see my skin isn't moving, where other brushes, because I do have what I call the puff, like this whole area up in here, but this will just do what I wanted to do. I'm not going to go over the middle, and so we're going to do this side again. And so you can see the difference between how this looks and how this looks, particularly over here where this line is. And so you see how that one looks. This eye is starting to tear upward. Don't do that. And it's harder to cover it up when it's a matte, because the shimmer will wipe away some, but because it's shimmery, the light kind of camouflages it. Why did that just now start doing that? I don't know. Then I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna just go back and forth right here. And we're gonna start with small circular motions, just on that line. And we're not putting a lot of pressure. The farther back you hold your brush, the less pressure you actually put on the brush. Like, if you're up here, you're gonna you're gonna put a lot of pressure. And so sometimes I will hold the brushes in different places, because right now I don't want to put a lot of pressure. I just want to blend out this line. I don't want to add more shadow, and I did not put shadow on this brush. I was just using on that top line. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it looks blended. Sometimes I'll use a shade to blend out another shade, but not intentionally. I'll just be like, oh, I'll put a gray shade up here, and I'm like, oh, that blended nicely, but that's not my goal. I usually don't use a shade to blend out another shade. I just take this brush right here. This is an Esom V31, and you see the difference, right? It looks blended. It doesn't look sharp like it did before. And so that's what I do. I kind of do want to put something up here, but then if I remember correctly, Contrail made me look dusty. This shade, it is like a very pale gray. What do we want to, this is Flurry. I think this made me dusty too. This one is Blizzard. Let's just take Blizzard. And I know these are looking white where you are, but they're not. They're like different tones of gray. And this one is more like an ashen gray. So, excuse me. So we're going to take Blizzard, this shade up here at the top, with this Sigma E45. Don't let this be a mistake, please. Okay. Okay. And we are going to go here lightly over the top. So we are bridging it, but the color is not noticeable except over the darker shade, because you can see where I don't even like what that did. I'm going to go back with this brush and go back and forth. I don't like that it took some of that darkness away. Okay. So that means I need to stay above that line. Okay. So whether you bridge or not, it depends on what you like for you. I have bridged a few times and I did like it, but usually I don't. And I think it was because of whatever color I was using was like a barely there color. It was noticeable, but it wasn't like, wow, you know what I mean? And so those are cool for me for, I like this look, blending. We're going to take Stellar. This is a bright shade. We're going to put this, I was thinking of where we're going to put it, or where we're going to put something else. We're going to put this right here under my arch, which this is the arch. So, you know, I don't have no hair over here. I over tweezed eons ago to try to get my brows in the same place. That's what I was trying to do, because they were going in different directions. Like one was going this way, one was rounded, and I am a fan of not doing a lot to my brows, but I do know they're sisters, not twins. Sometimes mine are international pen pals, but I do try to get the tails to look the same. And sometimes I work hard, excuse me, to get the inside to look the same. Nobody's brows are in the same place right here. This one is here, and this one is like over here. And to me, it's less noticeable the less work I try to do to make them look like they're in the same place. And even looking at other people's videos and, you know, pictures that they post, is like the more they do, it just brings more attention to it. But I am a fan of natural-ish makeup. Y'all. Oh, it's creasing. I'll go back to it before we take pictures. Lower lash line. And it's peeling under here too. Oh man, after I just wiped away my makeup. Take this brush. They had concealer and powder and whatever else on it. And eye primer. And paint pot. We're going to take this brush because it's stiff. I think it was a crown brush. Whatever it is has wiped off. This was in a subscription. Girl. In a subscription box, and that tells you how old this is, because I haven't gotten subscription boxes in years. And we're going to take, I'm going to take Night Sky, this shade here. Nope, no, we're going to do the opposite that we did up top. We're going to take Neve, or Neve is N, E with a thing over it, and a V, and then an E with a thing over it. This eye is real. Why are you tearing? And it's tearing downward too. Hi, can you stop? So we want to do this eye first. So we have the silver. Ooh. Whew. Whew. I had forgot about this shade. I'm going to just do black on upper lash line. I just now decided. Oh, man. This shade. Sucker is bright. We're going to do outer corner first over here since the inner corner is wet. Do I want to bring... Yeah, I do. Bring this out here. It doesn't want to go out there in a straight line. Alright, let's do it. And then do that over here. And then we'll do the inner corner part. Well, not the inner corner, the first half of lower lash line. This shade is bold. Damn it. It doesn't look too bad where it creased in that inner corner from my tearing. Why all of a sudden did it just start doing that not too long ago? And what it'll do is make this look brighter, and then it'll make it actually like tear down. And like the shadow will run down, and then it'll be a bald patch. Whew, that is nice. We're going to now take this brush. This is a Sigma E31. That might be too thick for in there. Now we're going to take Cygnus. It is not, it's no in there. What, yeah, it is. We're going to take Cygnus, this shade right here. I think we're not going to use that brush. We're going to take a Makeup Forever brush because it is short and it is dense, and I can get right up under my lash line. So we're going to put this, let's start over here since the other side is wet, and we're going to put this in the middle. So we did the opposite. We did dark, dark, light, dark, light, light. So this is new for me, because usually when I do halo looks, I mirror the lower lash line to what's on the lid. And so today we did opposite. Actually, y'all, this is the thought I had when I started saying I have a plan, but this is what I envisioned. Now for the brows. Alright. Do we want to do all the things with the brows? I think this blue might be, I think this blue is too light. This white is stark. And we do have this silver, which was down here under this silver. What we're going to do, we're going to take Night Sky, this one, and I don't think I've ever used these for brows. Got an itch. We're going to use it today. This is going to be interesting. I don't think I've ever used these for brows. And I did think to use Inglot. Y'all, Inglot be working me to get it off. Because when it dry, shit. I be scrubbing my brows with the Neutrogena wipe. Like I have to scrub to get it out of my brows. And I'm hungry, so I don't want to do all that. Which I think I'm not going to even take this off till after I eat because I am like legit hungry. So what did I eat? I had my house salad. I had maybe one complete bite size of sausage from in the dish. I maybe had 5 rigatoni noodles. Piece of bread with the oil with the spices in it. A half a meatball from the sampler and 1 chicken wing from the sampler. That's what I ate. And not too long ago, the 2 miniature cannolis and 80 ounces of water. So that's what I had today. These are not in the same. I want to say they're almost in the same place, but the shapes are different. So part of me is like, just leave it because at least they're in the same place, even though the shapes are different. Almost in the same place. This one is further here. This one is further in here. I don't want to mess with it too much because then the more I do, it's just going to look worse. We're going to leave that. We're going to put this some more over here. I've never used a brow pencil. No, I've never used a highliner for my brows before. This is interesting. And I am a fan of trying new things, but I'm still just amazed. Like, girl, you're really doing this. And I'm sure somebody somewhere else has. We're going to take this. I kind of want to do the white, but this is stark. We're going to do it. But ain't no coming back from it. Well, I can go lightly, and it is looking a little grayish. And maybe, okay, here, yeah, where's no hairs? This is word. So it's looking like it's that shadow I put down there. Over the brown is grayish. That ain't brown, that's blue. Over the blue, it's a grayish blue, but when I get to where I have no hair, that's when you see the color of the liner. This is nice. And I do like how it's mixing with the blue. Y'all, I like it. We're not going to take it too far out because it's like, this is a straight white. We're going to, oh, it's turning, look at that. I can feel it. We're going to put these away because we're not using those for any gel products or fluid lines or paint pots. Do I want to put this over here? Yeah. Where's the one? Okay, that's that one. So we are using all 3 of the MAC eyeliners that we took out to do this. This is nice. Definitely different. And I've done ombre brows before. Number one, not with eyeliners. Are you in there? No. This eye is tearing horribly and it's creating a hole, a patch, and it's tearing down. So I'm going to fix it before I take pictures. Where are we for time? Ooh, only almost 40 minutes. I think I'm gonna leave this too. This one is thicker, but you know what? We can see that the colors are there. We're going to put more of that shade. I was trying to remember what brush I used. Stellar. We're going to take this all the way over. Are you showing up? Yeah. This is such a thin brush, and I love it for this purpose because I can get right up under my brow and here where there is no brow. I like that. Ooh. Oh, this is horrible. It's spreading. Lip and mascara. I think I kind of just want to do a black lip though. I don't want to use this shade. Or, you know what? I'm not going to do that, what I was saying I was going to do. We're going to take that blackened blurple. This is from Notoriously Morbid. It's called Adder's Fork, and it's described as a deep blackened blurple. And you see on the wand that it does look blue. But when I would wear it, I would be like, I don't see it being blue. It smells so good. It smells like candy. And people be like, oh, that's a pretty dark blue lipstick you're wearing. And I used to say, sometimes my eye perceives color different than other people. And I'm not colorblind. I'll be like, somebody tell me what color this is. Because I really sometimes don't know. Not this, but like with other stuff. And it's always shadows in the same family. The colors in the same family. Like, is this lavender or is it pink? Is this coral or is it red? Like that type of thing. And so that's how I don't describe colors a lot. And I think, now that I think about it, that's why I sometimes type out the shadow name and a color description and put it inside the palette so I can tell y'all, oh, this is described as, like one here, this is described as, hi, my name is Dion, I'm a label whore. Because I don't think it's necessary to buy everything. First of all, I don't think makeup is necessary. But we like it and we want it. And so I like being able to tell you what something is described as. Because you may, excuse me for smacking, you may have something similar in your stash already. Because some people will, oh, I like that look, I'm going to get that palette. And I'm not a fan of buying a palette because I like somebody's look, because complexion makes a difference in how the look is going to look on you. Your style, your technique, the brushes you use, your eye shape, your face shape. It may or may not look the same. There are some people skilled enough to do that. I'm not one of them. And also, I don't want to give the impression like, yeah, you have to use these exact products that I'm using. The more I put this on, the more I do see blue. But like initially, I don't. One of my chosen family sisters, we were at a conference and I put this on. She was like, what is that lipstick? She's like, that is so pretty. She started wearing black lipsticks because of me. She said she didn't think that she could wear a black lipstick. But she said, I be seeing you wear it in your videos. Because she's maybe a hair or... Actually, she's a little bit lighter than me. And she said, I didn't think I could ever wear black. But watching you wear it, she said, I bought one. She said, I love it. And so she was like, send me what that lipstick is. So I sent her the link. And it's Notoriously Morbid. So I'm like, and here's my code. Y'all, she ordered it that same night. She ordered this. She was like, I love that. I like this look. This is different. And even with the brows and the inverted halo down here, I really like that. So what do we, mascara? This eye, y'all. I'm gonna fix it before pictures. Or just don't have my eyes closed in any of the pictures. And I can feel it that it's wet in there. Sometimes it feels itchy, like when it's wet and then it starts to dry, because then in the crease, my skin gets, what's the word? Like when you have a wet area that's bent, or say like you were sweating in here and you kept your arm like this, like after a while for me, like that would just feel itchy. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's like that for when my eyes tear, and then when it starts to dry, it just feels like my skin wants to crack. And not in a horrible way, but I am just aware that, okay, there's something going on with my eyelid. You know what I mean? And it is bothersome, I'll say that, because when I do looks, if my eyes tear enough, I'll just go wash the look off, because if it's tearing upward, if it tears enough, the shadow is going to start running into my eye, because it just creates like a river, and the shadow just follows it. And so, but it's not tearing that bad, so I may be able to eat first before I cannot heat up that food in the to-go containers they gave us because it's aluminum. That's okay. I have dishes. I'll just either put it on a plate or a bowl, or one of my ceramic bowls with handles. That would be better. When you heat up something in a bowl and then you gotta hold the bowl, it's like, this is hot. Y'all can put it in one of my ceramic, pottery bowls that has a handle. And then put some more red crushed pepper flakes in it. I did ask for the waitress, asked to make it extra spicy. And she asked if she wanted me to bring her, if I wanted her to bring me the red pepper flakes. I said, no, the chef could do it, but he ain't put enough. Because if you've been here, y'all know I like spice. And I started buying red pepper flakes because of Bertucci's. I had ordered this dish maybe like 4, 5, 6 years ago. And it does say mild spicy sauce. And so I asked the guy, is it spicy? He was like, not really. I said, can he make it extra spicy? He's like, sure, I can have him put extra red pepper flakes in it. Yo, and I got it for takeout. And when I got home and tasted it, I was like, that's when I started buying crushed red pepper flakes from Penzies. I am never without it. It's just such a little thing, but the flavor. All right, y'all, we are going to go, and then I'll fix this and take pictures. And I appreciate you being here. Let me know what you think of this look. Let me know if you have this palette, if you will try to recreate this look. I really like that we did the opposite, light, dark, light down here, and dark, light, dark up here. And I love the brows. I thought this brighter blue was going to be too much or too bold, but it's not. I'm digging it. So thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. Make sure you thumbs up, subscribe if you're not. Consider joining the membership. If you click join, and when I join you, it'll show you the perks. And if they appeal to you, then go ahead and join. So thank you. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. You'll see me soon. Bye.